One point as a consumer that I would assume is very important to you is that you're making sure that after you've selected the company and the mortgage professional that you're going to have a company that will give you excellent service. Through the course of my process, my goal is to stay out of the way, but to make sure that we exceed our expectations or your expectations. And one big part of that, especially in today's market, is service. And I just like to show you the illustration between your three options on how you can take advantage and make sure that you have the service that you expect. One of the challenges with big box is literally in a market such as this where rates are really low, a lot of consumers are calling in to the mortgage companies, getting back to a customer, making sure that you can close the transaction in a reasonable period of time is going to have a big effect on the overall interest rate and closing costs you have. Now in many cases when we're in a very low interest rate market, a lot of your big box lenders are going to get into a lock of typically up to 60 days. The thing I want you to understand is the longer the lock, it's a commitment of that interest rate for a longer period of time, the more it's going to cost you as a customer. However, if you remember, these big box lenders have a lot of customers that are calling in, either wanting to refinance or purchase property, so a lot of files have to get through the system. Ultimately, that can be a very big disadvantage to you, and the service can be definitely a detriment in that transaction. If we again look at the mortgage broker, which if you think back, now they're in the market to get you a better price, better product, because they have variable lenders that they can work with. The thing to remember here is they're sending your file over to the lenders to be underwritten. So they're sending it to an underwriter that has no participation in your life whatsoever, nothing more than another file to be underwritten or another file to be processed to get through the system. Because of that, the mortgage broker can't guarantee you specific timelines. He can't, if you have a purchase transaction that needs to close in 2.5 weeks, they can't necessarily guarantee that, and they may choose a lender that's known to get loans turned quicker in underwriting, but the price of the rate might be a little bit higher. Again, the advantage of working with Residential Mortgage Group is we are mortgage bankers. We have multiple lender options, but we're also in total control. So if I have a file that's been referred to me from a real estate professional that needs to close in 2 weeks, I can literally walk down the hall to my underwriter to assure that we have the capacity, or we can move it through our system so we can get it underwritten and we can get it out the door in whatever time frame is required. The service in the past 16 years with Residential Mortgage Group, we have never missed a purchase transaction. If we say we're going to close next Thursday at 4 o'clock, we're going to close next Thursday at 4 o'clock. And for you as a consumer, I think the last thing you want to be worried about is whether or not your transaction will close on time. Residential Mortgage Group will guarantee that if we say it's closing next Thursday, it's going to close.